The struggle is real. I need y'all to understand how much hell I just caused for myself trying to make the camera even. Like, to me, it looks really uneven, but on camera, it looks even. Like, right here, it looks tilted. It's weird. But on the screen, whenever I do the playback, everything looks fine. So, in an attempt to adjust the camera, the tripod fell. I forgot that I'm using a separate phone to record audio, so I threw the phone. The headphone came out of my pocket. I threw the phone onto the chair. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Different shirt, different jacket. Nobody will know but us. All right, so I have some notes here that I wanted to use to go over the video, just so we kind of stay on course. I don't want to take up everybody's time with a bunch of my rambling, because believe me, I will ramble. So, if we're going to build any brand, like I said in the last video, we need to start with taking responsibility for ourselves, where we are in life, what resources we have available to us, who we have in our network that can help us. And so before we come up with some random idea that we have when we're in a deep sleep or in meditation or on mom's couch or whatever it is while we're watching an episode of Shark Tank, we need to think to ourselves, what is a viable product or service that I can provide that's unique to me? You know, whether it has something to do with helping your community, you're a consultant, you keep coming across the same problem in business. That's how we created Smarter Marketing. You're a business coach. You are a basketball coach. One of my good buddies, an investor in Smarter, he created a product to help basketball players because he's been a ref for so many years. So a product that's unique to you, not necessarily something where you get an idea of that's how I can make money, but something where you get an idea of, wow, that could provide a very valuable product or service to people who would in exchange give me money for that product or service. Because that's where a business has to start. It has to start with the value that we're creating for other people. If we're doing things just for money, then we are only going to get so far. Yeah, we could get sales, but we're not necessarily going to be able to build a brand, a culture, a following of customers that are actually paying you instead of just liking you on social media. And I wrote in here, an MVP doesn't count. For all the software folks that are out there trying to build something that just can do a demo or attract attention. Whenever you are building a brand, we need to start with the end in mind and start thinking about what steps do I need to take to have infrastructure in place to sustain me from the moment I start attracting customers. That means today. Well, if we launch today, can we get customers today? How much time is involved with fulfilling the needs of that customer once a product or service is sold? These are things that we need to be thinking about. That leads us into payment infrastructure and automation. I have a lot of companies that come to me, entrepreneurs, business owners. They talk about how they want to make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. My goal is usually to get somebody to that $10,000 a month mark. But that $10,000 a month mark doesn't just come easy. It comes with automation. It comes with having a product or service that doesn't need your time to be delivered, like whenever that product or service is delivered to a company, or a customer. I'm sorry for messing up. If you get embedded or involved in whatever it takes to push your product to a customer's hands, well, that's good in the beginning. But in the long run, if we're trying to build a business that doesn't have your involvement, if we're trying to scale beyond just being something that's being run out of the garage or the living room, then we need to think about the end in mind. We need to have a website in place. We need to have an app in place. You need to have some kind of operating manual, or if you have a piece of software, some kind of operating manual for your engineers to build your software or your product over and over again. If you're onboarding new employees, they need to go through a step-by-step training program so that everybody's saying the same message, so that everybody's delivering the same product, the same expectations to your client. Every single time we walk into a Walmart or a Target or any big box store, anytime we do business online with Amazon or PayPal or Smarter, any company where we're not only trusting them with our money, but we're trusting that we're going to have a consistent experience over and over again. I'm doing business with this company because they have a product that they deliver on without question. Every once in a while you have something that needs to be taken back to the store. Yeah. We even buy cars that have recalls on them. Not everything's perfect, but for the most part, we are able to trust in brands and trust that whenever we give them our money, they are going to deliver a product or service to us. But small business owners, for some reason, think that it's okay to not deliver on that promise. They think it's okay to take money from a customer and say, you know, I'll have this thing back to you in a week, and then it takes 3 months, and then they're going to court, and people feel like they're entitled to somebody else's. And then we wonder why we're not successful. So, if we're thinking about the end in mind, am I trying to start a small business today in order to pay the bills? Or am I trying to create something very, very valuable for people in the long haul and hope that this can become a big brand? And there's nothing wrong with one or the other. We can very easily build companies or community organizations that fall within the lines of being a small business or being a big business, but we still have to follow these same principles with the customer being put first, the customer's needs being put first, the value being delivered to the customer or the investor first. If every time your business sells a lawn mowing service and you had no idea it sold because everyone else is taking care of your customers, you are a business owner. Most people never make it to this step, and they're lucky if they make it through any subsequent steps. Those subsequent steps, which I skipped, I kind of talked about. If every time you sell a lawn mowing business, or every time you sell a lawn mowing service, you're the one mowing lawn, you're self-employed. If every time you sell a lawn mowing service, you have to hire a company or a contractor in order to fulfill that job, but you're still taking care of the accounting, you're still talking to the customer, you're still providing the customer service, then you're still self-employed. But the moment that we switch from having people work for us and we don't really have to be involved, then we're able to scale. Then we can call ourselves a business owner. Smarter gets customers regardless if I'm standing here on this camera or not. Jason Criddle is fulfilling customer duties right now while I decided to start putting this stuff on camera. I'm at an inflection point in my life. I was saying earlier, I'm buying out my investors, consolidating everything back here in Dallas, getting a house here in Dallas, building a home and a ranch about an hour north of Dallas. It's been a really exciting time in my life, but these are not successes that happened overnight. This has been a decade of work. A decade of work. Whenever people look at my website or whenever people look at my media page, I don't see a whole bunch of interviews. I see blood, sweat, and tears. Like, people see Forbes articles, people see books. I'm very proud of those things. I'm name dropping, I'm mic dropping right now. I'm very proud of those things. But those things took a lot of work. And I meet way too many business owners that come up with an idea today and they have expectations of getting customers tomorrow, but nobody knows who they are. They've never built a track record of success. They haven't taken the time to become so good at their craft that people just want to give them money rather than them selling it. And so these are just things that I've come across in my experience of helping businesses for the last dozen years. And every single time I've come across these problems and I've had the opportunity to help somebody grow, they grew. So that's going to lead us into, who are you? I don't know if I'm staying in any kind of track on this video. I ramble, guys and ladies. I'm sorry. Not sorry. This is just how I make videos. But who are you? If you're building multiple products or businesses, You need to position yourself as a thought leader, a master inventor, a tactician. Your customers will need to believe in you to the point to where they want to buy things from you because you have proven time and time again that you can truly help others. At that point, you aren't selling anymore. That's how we build a brand. One of the videos that we'll probably post here is an interview with my buddy Sabir. And you guys should check it out. You really should. Because I talk about just this. Whenever people go to a grocery store, they go in there with an expectation of getting things done. Right? And so who you are in business is what people are going to expect from you. If you meet somebody at a networking event and you take 3 days to follow up with them whenever they give you their business card, and then you spend a week before you give them meet up with them for a coffee, and then 2 or 3 weeks goes by before you follow up with do you really think that person is going to buy from you or take you serious in any form or fashion? It just seems like you're wasting their time. And so we call people spam, and we call email spam, and we don't want people soliciting or knocking on our doors. And the reason is because far too many people are out there knocking on our doors and filling up our inboxes, and all they're trying to do is make money. They're not looking at us. They're not trying to build a relationship with us. They're not seeing if we need their product, and you don't want to be one of those people. If you're going to build a brand, you need to build it right. You need to build it with people in mind, with your capabilities, your leadership abilities in mind, and constantly work on building yourself as a leader, as an influencer, putting out content, writing books, working in the background. It doesn't matter. I haven't been active on social media in 10 years, but I'm still relevant. Google me. Give it a shot. And so even though I haven't been active on social media, I realize now that putting out this video is probably going to be silly because I'm going to get like 3 views and it's going to make me feel all heartbroken and everything. But hopefully those 3 views end up being people that I helped, you know? And that's the reason why I'm doing this. Me turning on this camera and talking to you all is helping me grow my business and scaling in the way that I want it to. It doesn't matter who sees it. It doesn't matter who hears the audio. What matters is that I made the video and that I keep making consistent videos. So if you're trying to build yourself, if you're trying to work on a book, if you're trying to build a brand, don't get stuck on a logo or a name or something that doesn't matter. Don't get stuck in your phone absorbing videos that aren't helping. Consistently take action over and over and over again that will allow you to build that brand to where even if it takes 8, 10, or 12 years, you're still going to be successful. I don't get discouraged that I'm on year 8 of Smarter and year 12 of this journey because it took Amazon like 10 or 12 years to become profitable. Am I putting myself on a level with Amazon? Yeah, I fucking am.